to answer your question, my husband and I went and prayed that Yahweh lead us to give us in the form of a visual years ago how to break down the calendar that he was presenting to us in scripture, because we needed to learn. Obviously, the calendar that we were using of the world was not right. So we needed to be retaught. And the only way to do that is to be as a child. When you're teaching a child something, you have to break it down and you have to show visuals and pictures so that they can understand. And thankfully, the Father has patience and loves us, that he gives us every way he can to show us his ways. So, to answer your question about New Moon Day and why it's not counted as part of the work week, we see that in scripture. Isaiah 66:23 tells us that new moons and Sabbaths are worship days and not part of the work week. They're a day of themselves to be sacred. Okay, so we know that. So they can't form part of the work week day, but they are to be counted as the calendar dates numerically. And we're going to prove that with scripture. Then we also see that new moons were like a Sabbath. So there's rules. You can't buy on a new moon or a Sabbath. Ezekiel 46:1 says new moons and Sabbaths are considered worship days and not part of the work week. Why? Because 6 days of the week, they had to be shut. But new moons and Sabbaths, they were open. Do you see what I'm saying? This goes to show you the 6 days that are part of the week. But this, the new moon and the Sabbath, were days of worship, and they knew that. That goes to show in Amos 8:4-5, where they argue, when will the new moon be over, that we may sell? And that the Sabbath be ended, that we may market wheat. So they knew they had to wait because it didn't fall on the work week for them to do that. So the count starts with new moon as day 1, but not one of the work week.